Welcome back to part 3 of the Sketchup Stage Design series. Today we're going to work on modifying props. I'm going to try and make this video a little shorter than the other ones. Keep it simple and quick because the other ones ran way too long, but I felt like I needed to get all that information in. So let's start with something simple. Let's say we want a new classic target set up with different hardcover. Say we want basically the opposite of this right here. We want hardcover on top and open target on the bottom. So we've got that one right here. The easiest way to do that is take your target stand right here, copy it, paste it over here somewhere, and then you just want to copy this for now. You're going to zoom in on the target stand, right click or highlight it first and right click edit group, and then you're going to paste that hardcover target, and it's backwards. That's kind of strange. No problem. So we got the move command pulled up. It's narrow here, but you can see that's the top face. So we're going to rotate that around to negative 180 degrees. And it already snapped to the target stands. If it didn't, I'll show you if it just popped out here into space. The easiest way to do that is to grab one of the corners. Whoop, I accidentally hit a button. It's actually grab one of the perforations here on the inside of the back side of the target and let your snap to it, or your snap little button there, pop to it. Click that. Then you're going to zoom out. We'll zoom in on the corner here and paste it on the corner of the target stick. You can see it lines up pretty close with the other side. That's close enough. Well, again, I apologize. I mentioned in the other video that sometimes when you're working in a group like this, when you rotate, it does crazy things. So we're done with that. Right click outside of it, close group, and there it is. It's done. So we'll hit spacebar to bring up the cursor, select that, M for move, and we'll move it over here in the line of all the other targets. So that's simple. If you want to make a new target, just a plain simple target on a stand, there's a stand here, there's one here, I think there's a tall one somewhere else, or there's a short one there. Anyway, next thing, we're going to do one of these little low boy targets. We use these quite a bit in some of the clubs I shoot. So say we wanted one of those in more of like a tuxedo thing with the hardcover on the left and the right and just the center stripe clear. So we're going to, first of all, we need to copy and paste a new one of these. Copy and paste. Then we want to copy the target we want. Control C to copy. Select this one that you want to edit. Alright, so this is another kind of weird deal where that's a component rather than a group. We want to make it a group. First we need to make it unique, because otherwise whatever you change on this one will automatically apply to the other one, I believe. So we need to edit the component. We're going to delete that target, Control V to paste the other target. And this is where it gets a little strange, because we're trying to rotate it to this line right here. The best way to do that is to move this target from this perforation here on the back side to the corner. You have to rotate around to see the back side of it. It's kind of tricky. You got to kind of figure out where you are in space. So I'm going to zoom in, paste that right there. Well, paste that right there, or move that to that spot. So this is a little different in that Well, that doesn't appear to be even either. So let's stop right there. Let's rotate that around negative 180. Going to move command, rotate that around to negative 180. That should mean it's at the same angle. There we go, that looks a little bit better. Alright, so we want to move this over, get it about centered, something close. And this is going to be a little strange. So this is where we're going to actually use the rotate command. We want to rotate it around this spot. We're going to rotate around the red axis. So we're going to click here to start with, because that's where the point where we want to rotate it around, on the corner of the target here. Then we want to go down to the edge of the target. Down the edge, same corner, but completely vertical. So we're going to click again, and as you can see, that's going to rotate that around. So then you just pick a spot anywhere along this edge, and it's going to place it right along that front edge of the target. See, just like that. And it's centered more or less. You can move it up and down if you need to. It's going to be a little difficult to move it along that plane, but you can do it. What you can do is click on it, click the move command. Whoop. Again, sorry, the zoom and rotate act weird. So you can use this as a reference point, the back side of this stick. Click there, and you're going to move it down slightly. Alright, so I'm going to undo that because I want it a little bit taller than that, but you get the idea. When you get done, close component. I don't like making things components. I like making them groups instead. Some things are already components, and I don't really know how to fix that. Let's try it. So I'm editing the component now, and I'm highlighting everything in this spot. We're going to make that a group. So at that point, I don't know. Anyway, some things are components, some things are groups. There's ways around it. We're not going to get into that now. So that's another one. That's an angled low boy target. Alright, so I've got an idea in my head of what I want to do. Let's grab, if there is a target already. Alright, so I'm going to grab a set of a target stand, copy that, and go over here to where all these targets are, paste it. So first of all, I want a no shoot upside down in the back as kind of a backdrop. So I'm going to copy that. Select this, edit group, paste. Alright, so that's flipped around 180 degrees too. I don't know why they're doing that. We'll rotate that around to 0 degrees. Done. Alright, so then we're going to rotate it around. We're going to flip the target upside down, basically, the way it is. So we're going to click here. We're going to rotate it around the green axis. Going to go to 90 degrees, and there it is. It's upside down. That's what I want. Right click, close group, because we got to do all these targets individually to make it work out correctly. So then I want, we can make that one work, but let's see if we've got a different target over here. This one. This is the one I want. Copy that one. Right click, edit group, paste. Again, I have no idea why they're backwards, but that's fine. Rotate that around to 0 degrees. And this is going to be a little tricky, but the best way to do it is to move it, is to snap to the back edge of this target, and we'll snap to the front edge of this target. And once that's in place, it's real easy to stay in the move command and move it vertically. You can get the angle right, so you're in the moving along that blue axis. So we want hard cover all behind the head and the head and the upper area of the C zone. Now we're going to put a full open target below that, below the hard cover, so that the shots don't penetrate and you can't get 2 scoring hits for 1 target. All right, so close group, or 2 scoring hits from 1 shot. So here's an open target, copy that, right click, edit group, paste, again backwards, no problem. Rotate that around 0 degrees. Move, snap to the back edge of that target, front edge of this target, and they're completely overlapped right now, but that's okay. That was just to give me a reference point. So then now I can move down along that blue axis, and that target's there. All right, so this is just a little bit of an interesting setup. You've got the no shoot behind this one, just to keep you honest a little bit on those headshots. You know, you can kind of make it interesting when you have a very quick transition from a wide open target to a much more difficult target like this headshot, and it's much more risky because it's got that no shoot behind it. So we're going to put that there. I'll save that one. I'll update the big prop file to account for that. Those are the 2 big things. If you want to add a different, say a tuxedo or any kind of hardcover target to this drop turner here, you treat it the same way as you did the original target sticks. Right click, edit group, to edit group again like we went through with the in part 2. So you'll delete this target there, paste another one, place it on the sticks, and be done with it. And I'm going to undo those commands because I don't want to change that. Those are the basics. Another thing you can do, just to show you, say we've got, want to put 3 of these targets together, 3 open targets. I don't know why you do that, but some people like it. So you can snap these targets to where they're very close together like this. And then what you can do is hit Control on your keyboard and select all 3 of them. Well, try that again. Right click on top of them, and you can make that a group. So then when you want to rotate it around, everything rotates, everything moves together. All the spacing stays the same, the reference to each other stays the same. So if you had any desire to do that, you can see I did that with these pieces of steel here. And this array of targets, this array, I believe I even did it with some of these as well. You know, just different target arrays that you like to use. You can save those together as a group, and then you can copy and paste it. You don't have to worry about trying to stick 2 targets close together in the correct reference in the stage you're trying to build. You can focus on just tossing stuff into the bay, moving it around, and going about your business. So I think that's all. I did add some start marks here, some X's for foot marks. You can also put one of those on a wall and use that as, you can put one or both on the wall to use as like a hand position, a starting hand position. I stuck them there so you can copy and paste instead of creating the 3D text in the stage you're working on. So that's going to do it for today. Showed you how to make some new props, some new target arrays. I'm not going to go too much into making walls and Cooper tunnels and all that. Most of the stuff that you ever need is already going to be in place here. If you have a request for something kind of crazy and you can't do it yourself, shoot me or put a comment below. I normally get those pretty quickly, and I'll see if I can help you out. It's really not too terribly difficult, but sometimes actually making new objects is much more of a pain than just stitching different things together. Alright, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for tuning in, and hoping this is going to be a lot shorter than the other 2. Next up, I believe, is going to be a walkthrough video showing or saving individual scenes and turning them into an animated walkthrough to show all the different angles and anything you need to see during this in the stage. All right, questions, comments, suggestions, anything, leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.